Shalom, call Haloyim, Wahawad, La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you, Fuakwaf, that believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now, concerning this stab and jab, um, it's not that there's just Israelites that are rebelling against the stab and jab. You actually have Edomites rebelling against the stab and jab as well. This just rolled across my home screen. And I clicked on it just a few moments ago. So I'm putting this up raw, but it's titled. It's titled the one that caught my attention. It says, "Unmaxed trooper loses job, sends message to liberal government or governor." And I can't say the word, the first word, because they have this algorithm that's picking up on whoever uses that word, and they're trying to censor everyone and silence and cancel everyone that speaks against it. So I can't say the word. But those of you know my code words for all of our code words for this stab and jab. Max, Lady Max. You know what I'm talking about. No, let's look at this interview real quick, and I'm gonna go into the scriptures and the Lord running this lesson that's edifying. Again, I'm putting up raw, so bear with me.
After 22 years on the force, a Washington state trooper signing off for the final time after being forced to give up his job for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Listen.
This is my final sign off after 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington, being asked to leave because I am dirty. State 1034, this is the last time you'll hear me in a state patrol car. And Jay Hensley can kiss my...
Joining me now, that State Trooper Robert LeMay. Good morning to you, sir. I cannot imagine what making this decision was like for you, the vaccine versus your job. So why did you ultimately decide to walk away from the job that you love?
Well, thank you for having me on this morning. And for starters, if I could, prayers go out to those Texas officers. This is happening daily across our country, and officers are losing their lives. So thank you for noticing that. It wasn't a question. When the governor of the state of Washington started this mandate project, my wife and my family we're not taking it. We don't do vaccines. We don't do flu shots. We don't do any of that stuff. So over the last month.
No. I'm gonna let it stop right there. Fair use, by the way. You heard that short portion of this video segment, or this news segment, I'm sorry. This guy is against the stab and jab, and he actually quit his job. And there's been an alarming rate of law enforcement, military, within the medical field, nurses and doctors that are being forced to resign or quit or being fired even, for not consenting to getting the stab and jab. And this is going to continue to happen. They're trying to pressure everyone into getting it. And so, real quick, I got a precept queued up. The book of Isaiah, chapter 19, starting at, the point is in verse 2. I'll go right to the point. Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." Now, the modern day Egyptians are the Edomites, because they're the ones that rule over us, right? Esau, Edom, he's ruling over us. We're in bondage, hard bondage up under Esau. And Esau is comparable to Pharaoh, all right? The old Pharaoh, which refused to let the children of Israel go, which is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American people. All right, so also this place is called spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right, because this is spiritually Egypt all over again, and even physically, because we serve hard bondage in the old Egypt, right? Which is Mizraim or Martazarim in our language. And same with the new Egypt. We serve bondage here. All right, but the Heavenly Father is actually putting the Egyptians against the Egyptians. You know, you got infighting between Edomites. All right, and they're not consenting to get the stab and jab, so they're going to rebel against you know, the government structure. All right, the order, if you will. All right, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Now, this is going to happen, and it's starting to happen right now, actually, as we speak, because there have been actual fist fights at some of these councils, all right, where Edomites are sticking up against the stab and jab. All right, verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. You know, everyone is running to their idols, praying to their idols, hoping their idols will save them and deliver them from the coming evil, or the great evil that is upon this place, and quickly approaching and taking hold in some areas of this land. You know, you have like I said, you have you know, people that running you know, to and fro to get answers about why their so-called civil rights, all right, is being violated by their own government, all right, and it's causing a uproar, all right. Bear me real quick. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. You know, those of us that fear the Lord are of the hopeful elect, right? And we're in the midst of these Egyptians, man. And once all hell breaks loose, right, it's going to be around us. And these are the times we're going to have to endure. Because not only the Egyptians are going to fight with each other, it's going to be an all-out race war. You see it say kingdom against kingdom. All right, and also in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, it says that for there should be nation against nation. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Now, the nation, of Esau, Edom, is ruling. And you have us, the nation of Israel. We're under the Edomites right now. And you have this racial tension that's been heightening for a while now. All right. So when all hell breaks loose, all right, it's going to be insurrection everywhere, especially upon men of the Lord of us Israelites, man. All right. And you notice more Edomites that's in those blue-collar jobs, middle-class citizens. They're the ones speaking out the most. All right. Now that shows you that there's going to be, you know, a great insurrection and a great division. All right, among the house of Esau. Before I get that, this is the word insurrection from the online etymology. It says, once the screen loads back up, bear me 1 second as it loads up. It's like crazy. All right, bear me 1 second. I don't know why the screen doing this, but it should have been loaded up. All right, there we go. It says insurrection, an uprising against civil authority. It says a rising up, to rise up. The definition is one who rises in revolt against a government. All right, so that's the reason why that state trooper is speaking out. Matter of fact, an insurrection is comparable to or synonymous with sedition, because sedition is I believe it's strife or violent strife. All right. All right. Let's see here. 2 Esdras 15 and 16, right to the point. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's exactly what the word insurrection mean. All right, going against the government, because the kings and princes is a representation of the government. All right, the power structure. All right. The word sedition, to show you the word sedition, let's get that real quick. All right, whenever it load up. All right, there we go. See, it's synonymous with insurrection. All right, when it clicks on, bear with me, it's taking a little while. All right, here we go. All of a sudden it's going slow. It says sedition, rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. And so that's what's going on. All right, it says a going apart, separation. So this is what's going on. You see in the beginning of a insurrection or sedition among the Egyptians. All right, and we know that going to the book of Mark, in 3rd chapter, it says that the house that is divided against itself shall not stand. Let's go to Salakia. Let's go to Mark 3. Mark 3, starting at verse 23, it says, and he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And clearly this place is divided. All right, America is divided. All right, it says, and if it wasn't divided, there'd be total peace right now. You wouldn't have guys like this former officer right here, this former law enforcement agent, all right, speaking out. All right, if he went against it, he wouldn't be speaking out. He would be consenting to the elite's wishes. All right, but him doing this is showing that he's against. All right, he's against what they're proposing he do. All right, it says verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So, you watching the house of Esau being divided, all right, and also this country of America being divided. Okay, you got infighting going on where individuals calling out others for not getting the stabbing jab, and they're actually going at them real hard. They're actually punching down on them. All right, especially those that be in the entertainment world, whether they're athletes, whether they're actors. All right, and in recent news, Kyrie Irving, he's against the stabbing jab as well. And you got even individuals speaking out against him not being jabbed all up. All right, verse 26, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And the physical counterparts of Satan are you Edomites. All right, this guy in this video, all right, he's clearly against the wishes of his own government. All right, and he's speaking against the governor of that state. All right. So these things are going to increase. These things are going to continue to happen because we're approaching that time. All right. The scriptures say in the book of Revelation 12:12 that the devil coming down, with that wrath because he haven't but a short moment or a short time, and we see it. So with that, Lord, one of you were edified. The next time I say shalom.
It's been nothing but